Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give our honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakal Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect, okay? It's your fellow servant Awad, coming back with the Lord willing another edifying lesson to you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who are the true biblical 12 tribes, who consist of the true biblical 12 tribes of Israel, okay? All right. And as you see, the title here is, okay, with time comes exposure of lies and truth. Okay. Now, there's a thing that Floyd Mayweather likes to say, all publicity is good publicity. So exposure of lies, that's bad publicity. But exposure of truth, okay, this is good publicity. This is good. This is good to come, it's good, all right. And time is the revealer of all things. Okay, dealing with time, yeah, that's Yahawashi, bringing things forth in due season. Okay, but you have to let patience have its perfect work to pick apart the lies. Okay, and to bring forth the truth. All right, and with World War III brewing up, okay, the land, Jerusalem, Israel, being touched, and being, defiled and being bombed and, being desolate. Okay. It shows you that true, the true people in the land, in the last days, when they return back to the land, there will not be any war. Okay. It's prophesied in the scriptures, man. When the true biblical Israelites return to the land, there will be no more war. Okay. Now, as of this, the Jewish, which let me type it in. When did the Jewish return to Israel? Okay, because they claim that they are the true, biblical people. Why is it war going on? Okay, why is it war going on over there? All right. Let me see. Okay, Khan. The return of Jews to Israel occurred in several significant waves, starting with the decree of Cyrus the Great in 538 BCE and culminating in the establishment of the state of Israel in 1948. And that's why you have that saying, the 48ers, okay? The 1948ers. Okay, so 1948 to Israel. In 1948, the return of Jews to Israel culminated in the establishment of the state of Israel on May 14th, 1948. That's why you hear our apostles and elders constantly say the 48ers, okay? This event was the result of the Zionist movement, which aimed to create a homeland for the Jewish people after nearly 1900 years of dispersion. So they're saying that they're the true people, okay? Because after this 1900 years of dispersion, meaning dispersed amongst different nations, okay? Dispersed as it says, James 1:1, the scattered abroad. The 12 tribes, because that is true. The 12 tribes of Israel were scattered abroad. The Lord dispersed them out of the land, okay? But now you have here, okay, the 1948ers. It says the return of Jews to Israel. they're claiming to be the people, but this is why we say, let time, let patience have its perfect work. Okay, because in due time, lies will be exposed. Okay, and the truth will spring forth. All right, because as you see here, which aimed to create a homeland for the Jewish people after nearly 1900 years of dispersion. Okay, the United Nations played a significant role by granting the Jewish people rights to a homeland in Israel. So they're saying, these are the true people. But why is there war going on? Why is Israel being bombed? Because there's a major prophecy that says, when the Israelites return back home, when the true biblical Israelites return back home, they shall learn no more war. There will be no more war. In so many words, which I have the scripture. But let me pull this up real quick. All right. Because it's beautiful that time tells everything at the later end. Okay, time is going to unfold all the dark secrets. Okay, all right, which is ultimately Yahawashi. Okay, James 1:4 in the NLT version. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. Let me see King James version real quick. Beautiful. The KJV. Okay. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So the patience is having, in all scales. Okay, it ain't just one. Patience with patience is time. We had to, we had to be, thought to be as, not the true biblical Israelites for a time. Okay, to not to the elites. They know who we are, right? The ones that know who we are, they know. But to the ones that don't know, they think that the Jewish that are in the land right now, they think the Jays that are in the land right now are the true biblical teachers. I mean, not teachers, true biblical 12 tribes of Israel. Salakia. And that's not so. But with time comes the revealing of that. Okay, and this is why I read this scripture here, James chapter 1 verse 4. But let patience have her perfect work, because then in the time it's going to upbraid all those lies. Okay, those strongholds is going to upbraid, and you can't stand against it, because ultimately it's Yahawashi that has that time to reveal. Let's get it here. Let me delete that. Okay. So like, let me see. Beautiful. This is Luke chapter 8, verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest. Okay. Manifest to be made abroad, to bring to light. Okay. Neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Okay. And what was hidden was the fact that what was a secret is the fact that those people in the land today, you know, they kept that for so long that they were the true people, but they're not showing that through prophecy. It's showing that through prophecy. Okay. And that was a major lie. It was a major secret. Okay. That shall not be made and it's being made manifest, okay, through those that have the eye salve. Okay. And it's also to the people too. Okay, because the people, if you know the scriptures, you understand that, you know, if you really know the scriptures, you understand certain prophecies. Okay, that nations shall learn no more. It won't be no more war with the land of Israel. Okay, once the true biblical people come to the land. Okay, the 12 tribes of Israel, once they return back to their homeland. Now, it says in 1948 they returned. Okay, the Jewish. Okay, the false Jews, the false Jays. I don't want them to flag this. Okay, but it says that that they returned to Israel. Okay, Now, a key point is it says the United Nations played a significant role by granting Jay's Jay's people right to a homeland in Israel. Now, guess what? This is also, this is also a lie. The United Nations, you know, they will not, grant this. We will not be granted the land of Israel. The true biblical 12 tribes of Israel will not be granted the land by anybody but Yahawashi, by the Lord power. Why does the United Nations, okay, need to play any role, especially a significant role, in granting the Jay's people right to homeland in Israel? It makes no sense, okay, because we know that the true biblical 12 tribes of Israel, are they have a power. They have, they're spiritual people and they have a power. Okay, so why would they rely on anything, okay, outside of Yahawashi? So that's a lie right there. Role by granting, and why would they need to be granted? Okay, no, we're gonna get the king, we're gonna get Israel back through Yahawashi. Okay, our big brother going to war, waging war, and taking the kingdom. Okay, played a significant role by granting J people rights to a homeland in Israel, leading to declaration of independence shortly before the expiration of the British mandate. Now, I brought that up to say because look how long they've been, since 1948. Okay, and this was a lie right here. It says J people were nearly 1900 years of dispersion. So they just showed up, okay, took the land and put their name, put the title of Israel on them. And if you ask them what tribe of everybody in the Jewish, right, in the J community, they all come from the tribe of the tribe of Judah. Okay, but in the scriptures tell you it's 12 tribes of Israel. They might start to change that now, but guess what? There's still 12 tribes of Israel. Even if you start calling yourself the first three, it's still 12 of them. Okay, you cannot just say you're from the tribe of Judah. All right, that's not the only tribe of Israel. Okay, but keep in note 1948. So they've been there. Okay, now check this prophecy out. Okay, we read this. Let me read it again. Luke chapter 8, verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So check this out. They've been in the land since 1948. Okay. All right. They've been in the land since 1948. Okay. So explain to me this. All right. And I'm going to get this in the NLT version. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. Let me grab it from the top. Okay. The Lord Yahawah's future reign. This is a vision that Isaiah, son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Okay, it's not just Judah alone. It's the southern kingdom, Judah, the southern kingdom, and Jerusalem, the northern kingdom, or Judah, the so-called African Americans, and Jerusalem, the rest of the tribes. Okay, the rest of so for that's that's 12. So the rest of the 11 tribes. Okay. In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house will be the highest of all, the most important place on earth. Okay. In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house will be the highest of all. Okay, Israel, the most important place on earth. It will be raised above the hills, and people from all over the world will stream there to worship. People from many nations will come and say, come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahawah, to the house of Jacob's power. Okay, to the house of Jacob's power. Okay, that came out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay. Now, there's many things that you can pick up from there right now. All right. It says, and we'll start here. Okay. It says the most important place on the earth. Now, when the Lord is on the scene, this is not going to be a dispute. But people often just try to dispute this with Africa. Africa is not the motherland. Okay. All right. It will be raised above the other hills, and people from all over the world will stream there to worship. Okay. That's not going on. People from all over the world are not streaming there to worship Yahawashi Yahawashi. You still have different religions. Okay. You still have other ideologies. Okay. You still have other idols. Okay. Now, this is prophesied when the Lord is on the scene and he's ruling. There will be no other gods. That's it. That will be the end of all the other gods. Buddha, okay, different sects of Christianity, all right, Hinduism, you know, sun god worship, all these different gods that, not everybody's not following after the God of the Jewish people, okay. And I'm talking about, in the Jays today, the 48ers. Okay, that's in the land right now. Everybody is not following them. But when the Lord puts the true people in power, the true 12 tribe biblical Israelites, when they're in power, everybody's gonna go up to their power, Yahawashi Yahawashi, to worship him. Okay, there will be no other religions. Everything will be brought, burned up. Every god will be burned up. All right. And it says, verse 3, people from many nations will come and say, come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahawah, to the house of Jacob. Okay. Now, Jacob consists of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which right now we're in a impoverished state. Okay. We are not in the land of Israel. This is why, come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahawah, to the house of Jacob. This right now is not our house. It is our house, it's our home, but it's inhabited by devils. Okay. There he will teach us his ways. Let's stop right there. Okay. When you go, how you spell gay parade? Let me see. Parade. Okay, good. In Israel. Okay, when you go to the law, it tells you that man shall not lie with man, okay, as he do with a woman. All right, but tell me why you have attractions. The Tel Aviv gay pride parade begins at the Gan Mir Park. Okay, that's LGBTQ pride parade in Jerusalem, Israel, 2022. Okay, are they pushing forth? Okay, are they pushing forth the ways? And what are the ways? The Lord's ways is the law, statutes, commandments, man. Okay, and it is in the commandments. Okay, let me see. Shall not lie with man as woman. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. Let me go 18. Okay, let me see. Okay, thou shalt in Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast, and they do this too, to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down there too. It is confusion. But guess what? They're all a part of that LGBTQ shit, man. Okay, these are some things that they allow you to do in Tel Aviv. Okay, it says right here, Tel Aviv gay pride has become one of the biggest events of the year in Tel Aviv, with the city's gay community coming out in force to ensure that they and the many visitors who come from overseas have And I can't believe I'm fucking going on this article, but you got to expose the lies. Okay, let me see. Oh man, look, it says the city light. Let me see. Tel Aviv has become one of the biggest events of the year. In Tel Aviv, visitors from all over Israel and the world come out in full force to celebrate. The city lights up in color and energy, proving its reputation as the gay capital in the Middle East, and perhaps even one of the gay capitals of the world. Tel Aviv Gay Pride Week takes place every June with a surge of gay-friendly events held across the city, culminating on Friday with the famed Pride Parade. See that? Look at that, man. All these people. Now you got woman on woman, men on men. Okay, you got queers. You got fucking transvestites. They cut their rod off and made themselves a woman. Now you telling me the Lord is with that? No, the Lord is totally against that. All right. Look at that. Oh man, look at this shit. The festivities will continue with an exciting party bash that lasts until sunset just before the Sabbath. Nearly 300,000 local tourists and visitors will march and dance in a joyous celebration of gay pride. That's wickedness. Okay, so the Lord, in this one is prophesied that there he will teach us his ways. And what's his ways? His law, statutes, and commandments, man. Okay. Verse right here. And these are the other nations, okay? These are the other nations, all right, that's coming into Israel. When the true people are back in their land, this is the true they said the law shall go forth. Okay. This is what the true ways of the Lord is, okay? There he will teach us his ways, because guess what? The gross darkness went out from Edom, and he taught them all wicked ways and abomination, man. Okay. And we will walk in his paths. Okay, whose paths? The ways of Yahawashi, the true ways, law, statutes, commandments. For the Lord's teaching will go out from Zion. Okay, his word will go out from Jerusalem. The word will mediate between nations and will settle international disputes. They will, okay, right here, the Lord will mediate between nations and will settle international disputes. Now, I don't like this version of it, because the Lord is not going to be a soft ass mediate. The Lord is going to beat every fucking nation, okay, into nothing. Okay. All right. Anything that exalted itself against the Most High Yahawashi is going to be beat to powder. All right. The Lord will mediate between nations and will settle international disputes. Okay. They will hammer their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will no longer fight against nation, nor train for war anymore. But what happened? I thought since 1948, the true so-called people, Jays, the true so-called people, returned to the land. Wasn't that supposed to happen then? Okay, shouldn't the law go forth from Israel now, from since 1948? Shouldn't shouldn't all people be? There should not be any other religions, right? Shouldn't all people be under subjection? Okay, there should not be any war anymore. Okay, there should not be any war going on right now. And what war do you have right now? Iran versus Israel. Now America versus Iran. Okay, and soon to be Russia, and all these different nations chiming in. All right. So let's keep it rolling, man. All right, Shalakia. Let's keep it rolling. Let me delete this. Well, yeah, let me get that in the KJV. Okay, real quick. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 5. Okay, beautiful. Verse 2, Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days, okay, that the mountain of the Lord's house, Yahawah's house, shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, Yahawah, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, okay, his law, statutes, commandments, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord Yahawah from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords and plowshares, and their spears and pruning hooks. Okay, all right. Think of it on a greater level. You know, they're military powers. Okay, you know what they have to go to war, the weapons, and they shall beat their swords and plows into plowshares. Okay, plowshares are is a plowshare is um uh what do you say, yard work tool. Okay, plowshare is more of a agriculture tool. Okay, working out there in the fields, and their spears into pruning hooks. Okay, nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Yes, and that's what you have on now, man. You have Israel going against Iran right now. You have war in the biblical in the Lord's land. So how can they be the people? Neither neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay, but since 1948, shouldn't have this been so? Shouldn't have this should have been no war since the people have been put in the land. And I'm gonna always say this: the United Nations are not going to grant the land back to Israel, the true biblical 12 tribes of Israel, which consists of so-called blacks, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, the Lord is going to be the one that puts us back in our nation. We ain't gonna be granted shit. Okay, it's going to be won by bloody war by our big brother Yahawashi. All right, and our power Yahawashi. Okay, so this one scripture right here picks apart a lot. Okay, it picks out a lot. All right, let me go over. Shall learn more anymore, O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord Yahawah. Thou art the okay, beautiful. That's pretty much on that. Let me delete some of these real quick. All right. So this is why, I have the title, you know, with time comes exposure of lies and truth. Okay. Because what's being exposed? The lies. All right. You know, hey, casting down strongholds. Okay. Imaginations. Okay. I can delete that. All right. This is another prophecy that shows that these people are not the true biblical people in the land. Okay. These are not the true biblical people in the land. So let's continue. Ezekiel chapter 37. And sorry for any background noise you may hear. Okay. Ezekiel 37, verse 24. And David, my servant, let me go up. I gotta go up. Ezekiel 37, verse 24. And I start at man, it's beautiful. Okay, this is Isaiah 37, verse 21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord power Yahawah, and say unto who? Israel, behold, I will take, which I should have started up, right? Okay, verse 19. Say unto them, thus saith the Lord power Yahawah, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. That's the southern kingdom being joined together with the northern kingdom. And this is why we have those camp signs that have the 12 tribes of Israel identifying, identifying them. Okay, verse 20, and the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before their eyes, which that's a prophecy that happened, and it is continuously happening. Okay, verse 21, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. Okay, the Lord is going to bring them. Okay, let me read that from the top. Verse 21, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, Yahawah, not the United Nations, not the United Nations. Okay, you got to get it right. Thus saith the Lord power, Yahawah, behold, I will take them. I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. What? And bring them into their own land. Now, what does it say right here? The United Nations played a significant role by granting J people rights to a homeland in Israel, leading to the Declaration of Independence shortly before the expiration of the British Mandate. Like, come on, man. What type of shit is that? It says 1948, the return of J to Israel culminated in establishment of the state of Israel on May 14, 1948. This event was the result of the Zionist movement, okay, which aimed to create a homeland for the J people. Okay, let's not get lost. Don't get lost in the sauce. Okay, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power Yahawah, behold, I will take the children of Israel. Okay, nobody else is going to help the Lord do anything. The United Nations are not going to be a significant role in shit, but being destroyed. Okay. All right. I will take the children of Israel among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them to, and I will make them one nation in their land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. So where's the king at? All right. Where's the king at? The king definitely ain't in Tel Aviv. Okay, with the LGBTQ just hanging out, watching them all that abomination. Okay. No, he ain't there. And they shall be no more two nations, okay? Which is the northern kingdom and southern kingdom, okay? The 12 tribes of Israel, all right? Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. Okay, that's when you had the northern kingdom run away with their king. I forgot what I forgot what the name is of one of the northern kingdoms, Israel's king. But they did have a split. Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore. Verse 23, neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, nor with this is a prophecy for the end time, man. This is an end time prophecy. This hasn't happened yet. Okay. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. Okay. But I will save them out of their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power. See, the thing is, the United Nations helped grant their land, granted the land of Israel to them, but didn't cleanse them. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols. They're still defiling themselves with idols over there, nor with their detestable things. They still have a lot of detestable things over there. Nor with any of their transgressions. Multiple transgressions, man. They said before the Sabbath they were selling the gay parade. That's wicked. Nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of their dwelling places wherein they have sinned. Okay, and will cleanse them. Okay, United Nations, the United Nations granted, the Jays in 1948. They granted them to have Israel, but they couldn't cleanse them. They could not cleanse them because they don't possess that power. Okay, give me a second, 1 second. Salaki, man. Got a lot of noise going out there, but Lord willing, I get back on. Lord willing Lord willing is edifying, all right? Okay, it says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king unto them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither. Okay, I've read that already, Salakim. Okay. Okay, Khan, down here at the point, and will cleanse them. See, the United Nations could give them the land, unrighteously, but could not cleanse those people because those people are wicked, man. Okay, only the Lord Yahawashi can cleanse somebody, okay? So shall they be my people, and I will be their power. Verse 24, main point right here. So I grabbed this scripture. And David, who? King David. And King David, my servant, shall be king over them. And they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Okay, this is beautiful. All right, verse 25, because where's King David in the land right now? He's not there. Verse 25, and they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children. My servant David shall be their prince. My servant David shall be their prince forever. So we should be able to see King David since 1948. We should have been able to see him. Okay. Hey, let me go back to the title right here, man. With time comes exposure of lies and truth. And it's a beautiful thing when truth gets its righteous exposure. And it's a beautiful thing when lie gets it's an ugly and beautiful thing when lies get exposed. Okay, that's a beautiful thing in this ugly process though. Because we coming to find out that these devils, lied to us. Okay, these devils lied to us about who we were and about who they were. Okay, but the Lord comes to shed light on all that bullshit. That's why it tells you in Luke, okay, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So Tawadi Habashi Yahawashi. Okay. All right. Prince forever. Verse 26. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. Key word, key sentence right here. I will place them. Not the United Nations helping the Lord place us. No. All right. Verse 27. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Oh, Salaki, I'm gonna go back here. And them, and will set my sanctuary. Now we know there's no defiled thing that can come around the sanctuary of the Most High Yahawashi. So that if those are the true people in the land, they will all be put to death because that whole land is defiled right now. My tabernacle also, and the Lord would have set his sanctuary amongst a bunch of Edomites. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their power, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel. Okay. When my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. It says, and the heathen shall know that I, the Lord Yahawah, do sanctify Israel. The heathen don't know that right now. Okay. The heathen still have their gods and follow after the wicked ass idols. Okay. So let's move along. Okay. Let me get this real quick. Okay. Beautiful. Because we brought out that Luke. Luke chapter 8, verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So now check this out. All right. This is beautiful because there was a time, that this man had to be exposed. Which before that, I'm gonna grab this. Okay. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called power, or that is worship, so that he as power sitteth in the temple of Yahawah, showing himself that he is Yahawah. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things might be revealed. Okay, time for the iniquity, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed. Okay, what's the title? Come on now, what's going on? With time, okay, in due time, in due season, comes exposure of lies and truth. And this man is being exposed right now, okay? For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahawah shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Okay, so right here it says that he might be revealed in his time, and if you can't see it by now, it's clear as day. Okay, if you can't see it by now, it's clear as day who the false people is, man. If you can't get it by now, we're moving on, man. If a fuck nigga can't get it, we moving on, man. And listen, at the end of the day, man, all of Israel will get it in the kingdom, so that we ain't worried about it, man. So let's go here. All right, this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And what's part of his hidden things? His lies, his deceivableness, his unrighteousness, his gross darkness that he put on the earth, okay, to deceive and make people think that they are the chosen people. Okay, they not. They're the wicked people, man, the son of perdition. But all that shit is searched out and sought up. Okay, because guess what? Just like on the left-hand side, the elites, the Edomites, they accomplish a diligent search. Well, on the right-hand side, with the power of Yahawashi, the elect, they accomplish a diligent search. They search these things out. Okay? They search these things out, starting with our apostle, with Abba Bivens, okay? And on down, okay? All the way to our apostles and elders, man, searching more stuff out. The lies are being shot down, man. You cannot lie no more. That's the end of this thing, man. All right. Let me read it again. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Okay. Beautiful. So let me start clearing this thing off. Okay. And his hidden things were the things that he hid in secret. And the Lord told you in Luke chapter 8, verse 17. Let me clean some of this up. All right. Let me hit a few more scriptures. We're going to wrap it up. Let me see James. I keep that up there. Okay, beautiful. So let me see which one I want to get first. Let me see which one I want to get first. All right. Let me grab the Romans first, real quick. Shalaka. Romans chapter 9, verse 26, because this is a prophecy that's going to happen right here, man. Okay, and I'll start at verse 25. As he said also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people. Okay, it says, I will call them my people, which were not my people. The Lord casted us off. Okay, and her beloved, but we've been grafted back through, right? We sinned, the Lord casted it, he hid his face from us, and then we, at the end of the day, Yahawashi came and we grafted back in. It's not hard. And her beloved, which was not beloved, okay? And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power. Now, Apostle Hart does a beautiful job. All the apostles do a beautiful job on just giving you a timeline in your mind when we might have lost, we might have lost the idea that we were the children of Israel. Okay, so when we were dispersed out of Israel, okay, when Antiochus came upon us, okay, into Antiochus Epiphany, when he came and ransacked Jerusalem, okay, we dispersed. Okay. Now, in that middle of that dispersion, we always knew who we were. Okay. We always knew who we were. Even when we came on those slave ships to America, we knew who we was. Okay. And the people that came and got us knew exactly who we were. Okay. Christopher Columbus, he knew who was on the land. Okay. Because the apostles and elders constantly bring out, that they had a Hebrew interpreter. Okay, and then let's get that. Let's get that. I don't know if they're gonna just pull it up. Did Chris? Beautiful. During Christopher Columbus' first voyage, he had an interpreter named Luis de Torres, who was born a Jew but had converted shortly before the expedition set sail. Okay, de Torres spoke Hebrew, Aramaic, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Latin, and some Arabic. Okay, his proficiency in Hebrew and Aramaic was particularly useful for Columbus, who expected to encounter Asians. And this, encountered the fucking Gad, the 12, the one of the 12 tribes, Gad. Okay, the so-called Native American Indians, the Seminole Indians. They knew that they was coming here and they was going to encounter those people that spoke Hebrew. Okay, so he had to take a Hebrew interpreter. All right. So that just plain upon table right there, man. Okay. Slocky, where was I at? So going back, the apostles and elders constantly, they tell us, we believe through the spirit. We know it through the spirit. Okay. We know that, the ones, we know that we knew Hebrew on those slave ships when Esau was coming against us and bringing the so-called the Southern Kingdom to America to serve out slavery, hardcore bondage and slavery. Okay, and we know. I just proved to you, Christopher Columbus sailed with the interpreter that knew Hebrew to speak and translate Hebrew to those Native American Indians, to the Seminole Indians that were already in this land. Okay, all right, that was already inhabited in America already, man. Okay. Now the Hebrew Israelites, the Southern Kingdom that were on the slave ships, and some, it was Northern Kingdom mixed into. Okay, they understood who they were as a people, man. Okay, they knew who they were on those slave ships. They knew who they were. So, okay, let's get here. Slack your Romans. All right, as okay, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, "Ye are not my people." Okay, they told us that we are not the children of the Yahawashi. They changed our names. Okay, instead of Judah, they put so-called they put African American, Negro, nigger, black. There shall they be called the children of the living power. Okay, because the Lord is going to send that light on us, man. He's going to deliver us from this land, man. They're going to understand that, we are the real true 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, the biblical Israelites. There shall they be called the children of the living power. Isaiah also crieth concerning Israel. Okay, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. Okay, within that children of Israel, all of Israel in America, a remnant will be saved. Okay, because you still gonna have some stiff neck motherfuckers that want to believe in that lie that Esau told them, which is fucking white Jesus. Oh, okay. All right, and I'm gonna close it off right here. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 28. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, okay, the truth, boom, truth, exposure of truth. That's a good thing. All right. Both are good. The exposure of lies and the exposure of truth is good things, man, because you come into a final denominator. You come into what's a lie and what's the truth. Okay. And that's a beautiful thing, man. The truth is beautiful. All right. A truth is no errors in the truth. Okay. And the truth which have been so long without fruit, and that goes up under everything, man. Who the true children of Israel are. Okay, where they are, their names, okay, the power of Yahawashi, his name, first and foremost, his name, okay, and so many other little tedious things within that, okay, which have been so long without fruit, it's been long without fruit, shall be declared, okay, shall be declared, and it's being declared, okay. So the water Yahawashi, man, just a few things to think on, man. Okay, just a few things to think on through the Spirit. Lord willing, that was edifying, man. You got to think on these things, man, because it says nations shall learn the word no more. Why the fuck is Israel? First off, why is not King David there? Where is King David? Okay, I should have titled that. It says, "Where is King David?" All right, and guess what? Why is there war? Why is there war in the land of Israel? Okay, why is there war there? Like, what's going on? Aren't you true people or not? You know? Okay. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom, the water Yahawashi Yahawashi, call all Yahawashi Yahawashi, Brakta Yahawah, Brakta Yahawashi, Brakta Yahawah, Brakta Yahawashi, call all Yahawashi Yahawashi, Brakta Yahawah, Brakta Yahawashi, Brakta Yahawah, Brakta Yahawah, Brakta Yahawashi. So with that, I want to give our honor and glory to Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakal Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, shalom.